Hello. Determine the inverse function of 4x squared minus 56x add 192. To do that, we'll arrange this in completed squared form. And for that, we need the identity x add p all squared is equivalent to x squared add 2px add p squared, which we can arrange as x add p squared minus p squared is equal to x squared at 2px. I have a number of videos focused on using or factorizing quadratic expressions using complete square form. So this is what we'll use to do this. So it is x at p squared minus p squared. Now first we have to take out the factor of 4 because we want it to be in the form of x squared and not ax squared. So we'll have 4 brackets x squared minus 14x and 48. So I've just factorized this, taking a factor of 4 out. Now we can apply the completed square form to x squared minus 14x add 48. So now we have that 4x squared 56x 192 is equal to 4 into before we do this step, let me just do the x squared minus 14x add 48. Now this incomplete square form. Now p is negative 14. In fact, no, sorry, b is negative 14. So we want a half of that to get for p, which is negative 7. So it's x minus 7 squared minus p squared. So negative 7 squared. And we have the 48. Now this turns out to be x minus 7 squared minus 1, because this gives us positive 49, so it's negative 49 add 48, which gives us negative 1. So this in brackets is equivalent to x minus 7 squared minus 1. And now we can write that 4x squared minus 56x 192 is equivalent to 4 brackets x minus 7 squared minus 1. Now, if we clear the brackets and simplify this, we have 4 into x minus 7 minus 4. Now remember, this is equivalent to f of x, which is equal to y. So we can write that y is equal to 4 into x minus 7 squared minus 4. Now we want to express this in terms of x. So we have, if we divide both, well, we can rearrange first and then divide by 4. So we have that 4 into x. Right, so if we rearrange this, we have 4 into x minus 7 squared. That's equal to y add 4. If we just divide both sides by 4, we have x minus 7 squared is equal to a quarter of y add 1. Find this, if we take the square root of both sides, we'll be able to get to x, and also we add 7 to both sides. So first we take the square root of both sides, and then we add 7 to both sides, and this is the result. So first we have x, and we have, when we take the square root first, and then we add 7. And we can write this neatly as 7 added to the square root of a quarter y add 1. We run out of space on the previous page, so let me go for this again. So rearrange here. We'll take a quarter, or divide each side by 4, which will give us x minus 7 all squared is equal to quarter y add 1. If we take the square root of both sides, we have x minus 7 is equal to plus or minus square root of a quarter y add 1. And if we have an arrangement just for x, we have 7 plus or minus square root of a quarter y add 1. Now this is x, and so we have x, and our inverse function is f1 y. Now input is y. So 7 minus root of 1 add a quarter y. And it, or alternatively in terms of x, we can write f of inverse x is equal to 7 minus root 1 and a quarter y. Now the reason I chose the negative sign instead of the positive sign is because something I omitted initially is that the domain of f, which is this function 4x squared minus 56x add 192, is in the domain, or the domain of f is in the interval 0 to 6. This interval is what f is contained within. And so for y of inverse functions, we ought to mention the domain that y is in 0 to 192, that interval, and x also in the interval 0 and 192. So there you have it. First, we applied the complete square form using this identity. This is equal to x squared at 2px. We factorized, rearranged it, and found for x, and then we found the inverse function within the domain specified for f. Thanks for watching. I'm Alistair.